alongside Matteo Moschetti, and still Van Aert on the front. What a leader this is. Coy on his wheel, still Van Aert. 200 metres to go, and Coy is almost dropped off the wheel of Van Aert. Now then, Van Uden opens up his sprint. It's Caden Groves down the middle, Mads Pedersen. Can Coy come off the wheel of Van Uden? Van Uden to the line. Van Uden doubles up. Oh, it's Coy though. Coy at the very last.
A long day in the saddle in Veneto, stage 13, predominantly flat, but with a real sting in the tail. From Rovigo to a difficult finish in Vicenza with a double assault of the Monte Berico climb right at the finish then. An opportunity perhaps for some of the GC riders to look for a stage win, but also the classic specialists, Wout van Aert and Mads Pedersen, eyeing up another chance to take a stage win at the Giro d'Italia. Isaac Del Toro once again in pink and one of the favourites to take the stage. As the flag dropped at kilometre 0 then, and the race headed north on long flat roads, a strong crosswind made for a very active beginning to the race. Eventually, a 9-rider group drew clear, featuring the breakaway specialist Dries de Bont once again trying to hunt out a breakaway that would make it to the line, as he did a couple of years ago in Treviso in Veneto on familiar roads. The group then picked up a tailwind as they approached the first climb of the day, and Mattia Bais of Polti Visit Malta went over the first climb in first place, but the bunch were keeping the breakaway on a very tight rein indeed. Through the first sprint then, Mattia Bais outsprinted Dries de Bont for the cash prize. And all day it was hard, right at the front of the race and behind. They went through the kilometre 1926, sponsored by Made in Italy, and then Dries de Bont managed to get the better of Filippo Magli at the second and final intermediate sprint of the day. After that, the time gap started to come down as they approached the second categorised climb of the day, the San Giovanni in Monte climb. And Dries de Bont attacked the breakaway group, which started to fall apart. Ineos Grenadiers then, with Egan Bernal putting pressure on the GC group, and riders attacking one another at the front of the race as they neared the top of the climb. Still Ineos Grenadiers setting the pace behind and briefly splitting the peloton into bits. Juan Ayuso and losing position briefly, although that would come back together again. In the meantime, though, at the front of the race, Lorenzo Germani, one of two Groupama FDJ riders at the front of the race, went clear. Christian Scaroni then of Astana bridged across to him, and those two riders went over the top of San Giovanni in Monte together, Scaroni taking the maximum 3 points at the top of the Cat 4 climb. And Pello Bilbao, with Bahrain victorious, set the pace on the descent to keep Antonio Tiberi safe. They moved to within 5 seconds of the lead duo, who nearly gave up, but then the peloton eased up, and the two riders went to the first ascent of Monte Berico together, Scaroni then briefly dropping Lorenzo Germani on the spectacular setting of the final climb and out onto the circuit. Onto the descent then, Germani and Scaroni still with an advantage as they headed for the Red Bull kilometre. Scaroni then dropping Germani, who was swept up, and there was a battle for the minor placings. Scaroni over the Red Bull kilometre in first place, Ayuso in second, and Isaac Del Toro, both of those riders picking up time bonuses. Then there was a counter-attack over the top from Romain Bardet and Matthias Vacek that was only caught in the final kilometre as they hit the final slopes.
It's Pedersen who goes first. Pedersen powering for the line. Del Toro trying to react to that power. Van Aert on the wheel of Pedersen. It's going to be between Van Aert and Pedersen. 150 metres to go. Van Aert locked onto the wheel of Pedersen. Can Van Aert come round him? The steep slopes remain, but Pedersen has the power to hold him off. Van Aert with one final lunge. Pedersen. It's going to be victory number 4. Van Aert in second place, and Isaac Del Toro beaten into third with a time bonus.
Pedersen, though, another win number 4 for him, win number 5 for Lidl Trek, who have dominated things in terms of stage hunting at this Giro. Mads Pedersen, the winner, ahead of Wout van Aert and Isaac Del Toro. Isaac Del Toro extending his lead over Juan Ayuso to 38 seconds. And another big leap forward in the Maglia Ciclamino for Mads Pedersen. 227 his points tally now. Lorenzo Fortunato still has a massive lead in the King of the Mountains. And Isaac Del Toro also leads the white jersey standings. There was a special prize on the day as well by the sponsors Made in Italy, and that went to the Maglia Rosa, the young Mexican, Isaac Del Toro.